Yes, indeed. Welcome back to show number 11 of the Power Wheels podcast. And joining me in the virtual studio is Shayne Howry. I hope I said that right.
Yes, sir. That's just fine. Howry.
Yeah, Shayne Howry of the Wheels of Kindness Foundation. It's a foundation, right? That you guys
That's
have?
what we're aiming for. Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay. But I was looking, Alan kind of, I saw that you reached out to ML Toys to get some parts for some help with parts for Power Wheels. Alan kind of introduced us in emails and I looked at your website. I guess you renovate or take older vehicles, older podcasts, bicycles, stuff like that, and then fix them up and then give them away to people who need them.
Yeah. Yeah. So Alan had actually reached out, which I guess one of his employees seen some of the stuff we did online. Um, I go around, I find old Power Wheels in the community that a lot of people are just throwing them out once the old batteries kind of get shot and they get rid of them. So I was like, it gives me something to do. I wanted a project, so I started collecting them, and then I'd fix them up. I'd order the parts from ML Toys, and then I give them back to kids in the community who maybe can't afford them, don't have anything like that. We do it for Christmas. Parents can give them for Christmas presents, so that's how it all started.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. Awesome. Also, I was checking out your Facebook. You have quite a big following there on Facebook. It says you're a comedian on there, and I was watching some of your reels. So maybe I see you're a big Kansas Chief fans. I'm sorry that my Tampa Bay Bucks beat you guys a few years ago this year. Um,
Yeah, it was a hurt.
but yeah, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and what you and your wife do.
So we had started on social media back when COVID had come about, and just as kind of like a filler, something to do, like most people did. We never thought it would kind of go as far as it did, but we just let ourselves into introducing just our normal everyday life. What you see on there is completely real. That's how my wife and I are day in, day out. Of course, we all have our troubles, but we like to laugh and continue to laugh. So when I was actually selecting during our profile, the best thing I could come up with was comedian because I honestly didn't know what else to select. You know, so
It is pretty comedic. I was watching a few reels before we came on and started this podcast just to get to know you. I guess I want to get to how it all started with you finding these power wheels and starting to fix them up. When did that start and how did it start?
so I am a sheriff's deputy in the county that we live in.
Okay.
I've been a sheriff's deputy for 10 years. So I deal a lot with families and kids, and I'm really big on community relations and meeting the public and getting to know that. And I had a rough upbringing when I was a kid, and I remember I had a specific sheriff's deputy that would always stop by and say hi to us. So it had a real big impact for me. So I kind of do the same now, and of course we have kids ourselves. But I was driving around one day and I seen one of the Power Wheels. It was actually like a Harley Davidson police motorcycle. It was black and pink, and I'd seen it sitting there. So I had stopped. I threw it in the back of my cruiser. After talking with the family, they were getting rid of it, and I ended up fixing it up. And there's a little girl in one of our small towns who I would see all the time, and she'd come up and give me hugs all the time. So I ended up fixing it up, kind of gave it some extra life, little battery, cleaned it up, and I gave it to her. And up and down the road she went, and the enjoyment she got out of that, and the enjoyment I got out of that really resonated. So I was like, I want to continue to do this. Just kids are a big part of our future and what it holds. And for me as a law enforcement professional, I think making a good impact with people is the best thing you can do. So like I said, I grew up poor. My main memory was having a Power Wheel that my grandmother had given us for us kids, and we had four of us kids. It was only one Power Wheel, and it was a great time. And it keeps kids outside instead of locked indoors on a computer or maybe on a phone to experience that youth part of it, which I think every kid needs to have. So
Do you remember which Power Wheels you had when you was a kid? Was it the Jeep or the Ford Ranger or something like that?
it it was the Bigfoot Power Wheels when Bigfoot, the monster truck, was a real big deal when I was a kid in the '90s, in the '80s and '90s. So I remember that to a T. It was a Bigfoot Power Wheel. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, when I was growing up, I remember watching the commercials on TV and wanted to have one. My neighbor had one, and his
Mhm.
battery, and we would wait all night, all day, charge it up, and it would only run for about 2 minutes. Things have changed
Yep.
now.
Well, like oh, yeah. No, they have, and, right now I've got about 5 or 6 Power Wheels sitting in my front yard, and I
Mhm,
have kids in the neighborhood, and I'm getting ready to fix them up. A lot of times I'll replace the parts, I'll paint them, give them new paint job, everything else, but right now, the ones I have to fix up yet, I just have in the front yard. I've got a bunch of batteries on the charger, and normally when the kids get home after school, the neighborhood kids, they'll come knock on the door. They hop in one, they start riding them up and down the street. I got signs that I put up, it says slow, children at play, caution, stuff like that, and they just race up and down the road. All of us parents are out there, we all chat, and they have their fun, so it's really enjoyable.
yeah, absolutely. The same thing with my daughter. She hops in hers. We've hopped it up a little bit, courtesy of ML Toys, and
Yeah.
it's like the kids around her just come out, and she's giving them lifts. She's going up and down. She lets one of them drive them. I mean, we have one, right? They don't have any,
Mhm.
and it's good to see, right? She enjoys it, and she thinks she's driving a real car. She tries to do some sort of tricks and show off, but she is not selfish with it. She lets people
Yeah.
she takes people for drives. She drives around the neighborhood like she's her mom or I would drive around the neighborhood. So it's always good to see. I guess, how many of these Power Wheels have you given away? Do you know, or has it been quite a
So
few?
it's been quite a few. We don't
Mhm,
always publish it or put it out there on social media for maybe safety, security reasons, or privacy reasons for that matter. Not every family wants to be on social media, and I'm completely fine with that. I'm all about protecting their privacy and letting them have their things. So we didn't do it for clout and to put it out there. I put it out there when we can.
mhm,
But my thing was just to give back, and the website, you can actually nominate a kid or donate, send us an email. The tough part for us is we have a lot of people that want to donate. They're out of state, and that's
mm,
very hard to do. I can't drive out of the state to go pick up Power Wars or even deliver. Um, and then to ship them is also expensive. Now my wife and I have also come out of pocket and bought Power Wheels that we had shipped to families in a couple other states as well, to help that. We get stories all the time, emails all the time, so we're constantly going through those. We try to find the best ways to appease everybody. One of the biggest downfalls for me is having to tell somebody I'm sorry, but because you live in Maine or something like that, there's nothing really I could do right now or anything like that. So I always try to tell them to try to see if they find something local, if anybody there local is doing it, or any type of other shop that may do that to give them back out. Or I give them instruction and direction, give them websites to ML Toys because ML Toys has been a great outlet for me as far as parts, motors, everything like that. So I give them that information to possibly even fix it up themselves and then maybe try to give it away to a kid they know or use it for their own kid.
yeah, and you just don't do Power Wheels, right? You do any pedal bikes. I think
Yeah.
I'm looking at your website now. You do pedal bikes. You do push bikes. Anything with wheels, and I see one kid's got like a this is actually pretty cool. He's got like a it's like a four-wheel pedal bike. So you do any type of thing that has wheels on it.
Yeah, we actually just donated, I believe, 8 bikes to a nonprofit community thing in our. It's called Rise in our
Mhm.
community that goes works with special needs and stuff like that. We donated about 8 bikes to them that they were able to get out to other children. So
Nice.
we utilize other resources to do that too, instead of just us. So that way, if I'm kind of piling up on stuff, we have outlets to get that done. And then the Power Wheel that I did, which I think was directed to Allen, which was the Chiefs Power Wheel, because Chiefs are my favorite team. But I had repainted that. We had donated that one as well for an auction. They had auctioned it off for money to raise for children with special needs or individuals with special needs.
Nice. I did see that on your Facebook. I'm looking for it now. So tell us a little bit about that Chiefs Power Wheels. How much work and time did that take?
That took me a couple weeks because I wanted to be very mindful of everything I was doing with it. I wanted it to come out perfect because I knew I was going to have to do something special with it. The only problem was is at the time that I did it, and that was probably a year ago that I had done that. So it sat in my garage, and I would keep it cleaned up. And I liked looking at it every day because I collect everything Chiefs. I have a lot of Chiefs memorabilia. Um, but I really have wanted to find something special to do with that. And it's very tough for me to just I can't just go to one child and say, "Yep, you're the special child that gets this one." That's an unfair task. So we found that we could give it away to have it auctioned. We also thought about giving it to like Children's Mercy or something like that up in the city or a hospital that deals with kids for them to be able to use it. But we ended up finding an outlet to get that done.
Nice, awesome. I can imagine that these kids are uber excited when they get something like this, and you pull up and drop it off to them.
Oh yeah, we had a kid. We actually drove 2 hours up north of us, and I delivered a Power Wheel. So same type like the Chiefs. It was the Ford Raptor Power Wheel. But he had a infatuation with sheriff's deputies and police. So I
Mhm.
had done it like a sheriff's vehicle. I had purchased the, emergency lights from ML Toys, put those all on it, had the switches in there, and we brought it to him, and he just loved it. Loved
Oh,
everything
yeah?
about it. Oh, yeah, drives around. The mom sent us messages a few times a couple weeks later saying he enjoys it, and that was very heartwarming for us, and we're really grateful to be able to do that.
That's absolutely awesome. That is very cool. Do so you do some requests for people then?
We do the best we can, yeah. I mean, I try to affect what I can in my community. We have gone outside of our community a couple times, the best we can. Again, um, when I started this we never started into it going, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna make a bunch of money." I didn't do this to sell the things. I wanna do is to kinda give back because people are just gonna throw them away anyways. So
Mhm.
I we've come out of our pocket a little bit. We take money that we use off social media to do this and pay for this. Now, we both have full-time jobs too, so I do it in my spare time when I can. So this isn't like a full-time job where I get to work on them day in, day out. I mean, I would have a lot more going if that was the case, but
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's a great thing you're doing. I'm just gonna bring up the video of your Chief's vehicle right here. No volume, we're just gonna let it play.
yeah.
It looks really cool. So what you're painting these yourself then?
Yes, I do paint them myself. I don't have any, like, special equipment. I don't have a paint room or nothing like that. I will tape off some area, and,
Mhm.
what I tell a lot of people too is, because once you give these to kids, it looks nice and fresh, but they're gonna run them, bang them around, stuff like that, so they're meant, to eventually get some wear and tear. But I use actually the Rust-Oleum paint from that you pick it up at Lowe's or anywhere else, and I also use clear coat, and I'll clear coat it so it sits and
Mm.
sticks. And then I'll get stickers and, print out some emblems and stuff like that to where that's how I was able to get that done. So I take them
Very nice.
completely apart too. Yeah.
I was about to say, what are some of the that's a nice ride. I like that. With the Chiefs paraphernalia in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That was the one
nice.
that went to auction, and they auctioned it off. So all the
I hope
proceeds that they made during that auction went to individuals with special needs, so
I hope it got a good bit of money for it to
it
help
did, it
people out.
did get a good bit amount. Yes, sir.
Awesome, awesome stuff. Good stuff. But that was gonna be my next question was what are when you pick up a lot of these Power Wheels, what are some of the common problems that are needed that you find? What are some of the things you're purchasing and replacing on these?
So the most common problems I see, one is the battery issue. A lot of people say, "Oh, the batteries it doesn't work anymore, so we're throwing it out." So I'll end up splicing the wire. I get the connection kit that connects to, depending on the battery you're using, whether it be DeWalt or you know whatever kind. That's the first thing I'll try, and I'll connect that up, and I'll hit the gas, and if the motor's spin, I know that's working. That's good to go. Other thing is the tires get the most wear and tear, so the plastic tires will end up having holes and the rocks will be in them, so on and so forth. Or I might have to switch out a pedal because something fried or somebody didn't connect something right. Um, but those are the main problems. There's some that are really bad sun damaged, and trying to sand those down or repaint them, it's very tough because when that plastic gets that far sun damaged, it breaks. It's very brittle. So you either have to replace that part or, try to do the best you can with it.
Now, are you dealing with specifically Power Wheels, or are you doing some of maybe the I hate to say knockoffs, but the other Chinese or the cheaper versions of these?
So I've come across I'm trying to think of the one I was trying to look for. So like right now I have two they're Honda Talons.
Mm,
which I can get parts through. I think it's called Ballard Specific is the parts
mhm,
where I got those. So, and I had asked Alan about that if he was able to get a hold of certain parts for these other type of power wheels. So, depending on the power wheel, you do have to do some research. But for the most part, it's been like the Ford Raptors. There's a lot of those out here. Those were like a big thing that got sold a lot. Um, so those are quick fixes, and then of course like the John Deere tractors and such. I got a couple of those. So a lot of the stuff it's easy to find where I was able to get my parts off ML Toys, but those are the biggest ones that I come across. I haven't come across, I guess, a couple of the knockoffs, as you would call them. Those are a little bit harder to find parts for. So
yeah, I would say so, because Power Wheels have been around for a long time, Mattel, and there's plenty of them out there. That's what all the drag racers are using pretty much. So, yeah,
mhm,
I've interviewed quite a few guys who are doing, their kids are doing drag racing with these, and, like, my buddy's similar, like, my buddy Brian, he found like, they want the Corvette C10s, I think they are.
yeah,
That's the one they're after, and, the what's his name? The speed, Lightning
Lightning
McQueen one.
McQueen. Yep.
Yeah, those are real
I've got
popular.
one in the backyard that so your opener that was showing them drag racing, and
Mhm,
I have a Lightning McQueen here, one that I really wanna do the same thing to. Now I started this not knowing really anything about it. I like to tinker with stuff and take stuff apart and put it back together.
mhm,
So nobody taught me or nothing like this. I went through and kind of figured out on my own, which they're not exactly hard to figure out.
mhm.
There's some other ones that what's it called? They have, like, motherboards in them and stuff, like, there's the one it's almost like the wheelchair one, so if you have a child that, is wheelchair bound, I forget what it's called, but it's got a little wheel in the back and 2 big wheels on the side, and it's got 2
Oh,
shifters on
really?
either side so you can spin yeah, but that one you gotta find a motherboard for. I've still yet to find one
Mm.
to be able to get that one working, so it's very
Maybe
tough.
somebody who's listening to this will be able to help you out.
Well, and I get a lot of requests from people, who have, children with disabilities, such as maybe either autism or something like that. They're always trying to look for something that can incorporate with their child's style of driving or safety or anything like that, or to keep them maybe upright if they can't sit upright or anything like that. So I've had emails asking me, "Is there anything you can create to help us out with this?" And I'm still looking into those avenues, about doing something like that. It's just it's very difficult without knowing a little more. So I've been in communications with a couple people because they don't really make Power Wheels for special needs.
Alan was telling me about a lady that's doing that. Uh,
Really?
yeah, you would have to reach out to him. I was trying to get her on her as well to talk about it. Uh, but I can't remember her name, but she was doing, something similar. So I'd have to reach out to Alan and maybe send you her name and whatnot. But definitely, I mean, it gives them a chance to drive something. Like, who
Mhm.
wouldn't wanna drive something when you was a kid?
Well, yeah, and the way I look at it too is that, even the kids that, maybe needed that little extra help or something, they wanna be able to feel like, they wanna play with all the other kids too,
Mhm.
so to give them if I could do something like that to help even though those children as well to feel involved and included, and that's the other thing.
Absolutely, we need to it's a so I was telling you that I'm into radio control cars, and, in RC, there's no what can I say? There's no physical requirement. You gotta be able to stand up and be able to turn a wheel, and I mean, there are people out there that race and wheel like, we've had, not paraplegics, but people that suffer from muscular dystrophy that are wheelchair bound. Like, there's one guy, his name Corbin Showers, and he cannot move. Really, like, he could just about move, and they modified a whole joystick where he just moves like this, ever so slightly, and drives a whole car, and he was
That's
good.
awesome.
So, it's similar, right? It it's we gotta let not just because you have a disability doesn't mean you can't participate in things. And
Absolutely.
it's always good to see them just being normal kids, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day for these Power Wheels, right? We have kids on her. We see we see them out there drag racing. I had a gentleman on her a couple of episodes ago. He does, demolition derbies
Okay.
as well. I know they do some, like, off-road racing as well. I haven't, come across somebody to talk about that. Maybe not off like jumping, but, going around an off-road dirt track. But
Yeah.
right now, it's the drag racing that's uber popular, right? The dad's into
Yeah.
it, modifying them. I have my buddy Brian is all about brushless because he's an RC guy. So he's putting what we put in our RC cars, he's putting them in these cars, like ESCs, electronic speed controls. If he's it's like, yeah, I show up with my laptop and I'm doing this and programming the ESC. And I'm like, you know how dads are. We go deep. We go deep. Actually, we're
Oh, yeah.
trying to Alan is trying to get a see who's got the fastest, like it's different pockets, different groups of drag racers. So we're trying
Okay.
to have like a national to see who has the fastest car.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, and then you have guys like Alex Teeter, who's you saw on the intro. So
Yep.
he's involved with his son, and he's probably the most organized group of these guys, right? And he's also got the caught the eyes of the outlaw full scale drag racing guys like Farm Truck and Asian and those guys. So they know
Oh,
him.
wow.
Yeah, and they are geeking right out on the whole Power Wheels drag racing stuff and how it's a gateway to more drag like full-time drag racing and stuff like that. So,
I
and
think
his
I need
kid
to up
is
my game then.
oh, you gotta check it out. If you go when you get some time, because I do appreciate you because I know you just had a knee operation, so you're kind of at home. If you get some time, go check out the podcast of Alex Teeter and Brian Boucher, and they're talking all about the drag racing stuff. Oh man, these guys are deep, like deep, just like any other
Oh,
type of racing.
I think I've seen because I've seen a few of the videos of these guys
Mhm.
because I was looking at one of them and trying to figure out. I was digging into it because I have that Lightning McQueen one in my backyard, and I wanted to spruce it up and do the drag race like that. Like I said, I'm just getting started with, fixing up these other ones. So to do what they're doing, because they're putting a lot more components, speed regulators, everything else in these things to get them going quick. And as far as battery, motor size, stuff like that. So that's where I need to up my level of game is understanding how they're doing that.
It's not hard. It's simple. So one group does likes the brushless stuff, which is Brian and them his guys, which is the future in my opinion because takes brush just is fine. It takes a beating, and it's cheaper. It's replaceable. And then it's the brush guys, but I think brushless is faster.
Okay.
And so that's what we're trying to, we're just trying to have some friendly rivalry. But what Alex has going on is really good. Like his setup is really good. He has really good social media as well. And he's linked up and they do it along. They've been doing it along at real drag races. So doing it alongside drag races as well. And it gets kids exposure. I think it's awesome.
Hmm.
But a
Yeah,
national would be
definitely.
great. A national would be
Oh, yeah.
great. Um, so have you ever come across some vehicles that you're like, okay, I just can't fix these?
Yeah, a couple of times actually. As a matter of fact, I just picked one up from, I picked up 5 of them the other day, and out of that 5, one of them was kinda, like, no good. So what I do with stuff like that is I will still take certain parts from them, because I can even if it's, like, the little motors for the wheels, I can still maybe utilize them in something similar of that size for, like, the littler kids. So I might part it out and then get rid of the rest.
Got you.
There's just some that are just not fixable. So
I imagine you must have a lot of stuff there now.
I do. I have what is it, like 5 or 6 in my front yard for that are lined up kind of like a little parking lot in my front yard. It almost looks like a Power Wheels dealership in my front yard right now. And then I've got another 6 or 7 in my backyard. So I'm starting to cycle them through again with my knee surgery. It's kind of put me a little hold back.
Mhm.
Once I get through that, I got about another couple more weeks before I can really start doing things. I will pull a couple in my garage. I have a little table that I put them on. I start taking them apart, put them together. I've already got my shopping cart for ML Toys is already full of what I need to order. But again, it's also a money thing for me too. A lot
Mhm.
of times we come out of our own pocket for this. Now, we've been very fortunate to have donations from people, and the only reason we started that website was we had put out a couple of videos of just us being kind and things I do, and like giving a little kid a Power Wheel. And some of our followers had requested us set up a site because they would like to donate to help further, that cause, even in my community. And I've had people from other states and with full understanding that, I do this for my community. I'm not going state to state. I don't travel, to try as much as I would love to. Right now, that's just not a feasible thing. And I make sure they understand it. But that's why we had started that. So we didn't get into this for money, hoping to get money out of it. It was just something I wanted to do. I mean, I only live once, so I wanted to make an impression somehow with my life.
Well, it sounds like you've made an impression on many young lives, and we need people like you as well. In these times now, these kids need figures to look up to, and some kids out there just need some help, man. They just need,
Yep.
not every kid can get a Power Wheels or a bike and stuff like that. And it's good that you do this type of stuff. And they always say giving is more rewarding than receiving. So, and I know what you mean. I live in Dominican Republic, and you see people here that are not well off, obviously, because this is kind of like a poor country, and you see people and they're hardworking, very nice people. And then you see somebody that you just gotta help, and you just help them out, and it makes you feel better that you know that you helped that person. Maybe that person didn't have nothing to eat that day, and you just help them out. So it's good stuff, man. How can people donate to the cause?
So our website is called willsofkindnesskids.com. There's forms on there. Again, we're in the state of Missouri. We live in Warrensburg, Missouri. So a lot of the locals know us here. But if you would like to donate, that's the way to do it. We are not asking anybody to donate. That's not what we do.
Mhm.
Um, we understand that, there's a lot of things I'd like to donate to. It's just I also have a family to take care of too. We work full-time jobs. So we totally get it. So we don't go out there begging for money, asking for money. I'm going to do this regardless of that.
Okay.
But if you would like to, that's one place you can go. If not, my honest advice, if you can find somebody local that is doing the same thing and you want to pitch in there or help out or do that, I also suggest doing that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll leave a link for that in the written description of this podcast if you guys wish to donate to this great cause. Or, if you wish to contact them, I think the best way to contact them is via email. If you need any help or suggestions, if you want to do this in your own community as well, because it'd be great to have people doing this around the USA and different communities. Because this is, like you said, I had to get mine shipped to the Dominican Republic, and it wasn't cheap. So, and
Yep.
like, shipping it around, they're big heavy boxes, and when they come apart, so when they're together, it's even worse. But
I've
man,
got I've got two I got to put together because I just had one of our followers. He's an older male. He really liked what we were doing, and he asked if he could send something to our address. Now we have a PO box, but he had asked. He said the PO box won't accept it. He actually purchased a Power Wheel. I've got to put it together. It got delivered to our house for us
nice.
to put together, a brand new Power Wheel to give to a kid.
That's awesome.
And then I've got another one in there that my wife and I purchased. So we found a family for that. This lady has two children.
Mhm.
Christmas is coming up, so we went ahead and bought the second one. So the one that this gentleman had sent, and the one we got is going to go to their two kids, her very two young kids. So
Oh man, you guys are awesome. And thank you to that dude who sent that. Thank you to that gentleman who sent that to
yeah,
the
Rick, if you
yeah.
happen to see this, thank you very much, sir. Very kind of you.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I hope people get inspired by this because it inspires me. I'm not going to take up too much of your time, and man, just keep on doing what you're doing. I think it's awesome. I look forward to your next build. Well, okay, that's
Uh,
my last question. Do you have like a dream build? Do you have something? I know the Chiefs car was kind of like your dream build, but
you know,
what's next in your head?
you know, That's a good question. Well, right now, my next project that I'm going to be working on is those two Honda Talons I'm going to put together. I'm actually going to create them into for like Mario Kart. So I'm going to do Mario and Luigi. So I
Gotcha.
want to do something special with those. For me, Mario was an all-time classic. I mean, I'm 43 years old. I grew up with that stuff, and when the kids drive around, every time I get the Mario Kart song stuck in my head, and it always makes me laugh and giggle. So I think I'm going to create some of those and get it out that way. But I kind of just shoot from the hip and just start doing what I do, and then end up coming with something. So
Sweet. Well, I'll keep an eye on your Facebook. I wish you a speedy recovery with your knee, and I look forward. Hopefully, you get that on video of the two kids receiving their two new Power Wheels, because I would love to see their faces when that
That I
happens.
will be doing. We already have permission for that, and that was a request from, Rick who had sent us is that, he would like to be able to see, the child if it is all possible. He said if it was privacy reasons, he understands, but if it's possible. So, we already have that permission, so we will be doing that reveal once that happens.
Thank you, Rick. You're awesome.
Yeah, right.
Shane, thank you for your time. Thank you to you and your wife for all your hard work in your community and doing things like this for children that need it. And like you said, you never know what doing something nice for that young kid is going to do and help them help forge their future. Kind of like what happened to you, when
Yes, sir.
you met that young deputy who came by and said hello. And now you are a deputy and doing the same thing. So keep up the good work. Good luck to your
I
Chiefs this year.
Well, good luck to your Bucks. They're doing pretty well too, so I appreciate it, Lefty. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. And if there's anything we can do here on the podcast, let us know. And check out the drag racing stuff, man. I think you'll like it. I think you will
I'm
like it.
going to as soon as I get off here since I'm kinda sitting down and couch ridden, I'm gonna be checking a lot of that out.
Absolutely. And if you guys wish to donate, I will leave a link for their website in the written description of this podcast. Help out a good cause for everybody. And thank you, Shane, for your time and speedy recovery to you.
Thank you, Lefty. I appreciate it. Have yourself a good day.
Are you looking to take your ride-on car to the next level? Ride-on cars are fun and look good, but they're just too slow. ML Toys makes it easy. With plug-and-play modifications like motors, speed and brake controls, advanced gearing options, 4-point safety harnesses, and lighting upgrades like emergency lights, underglow kits, and headlights, ML Toys is the one-stop shop to make your ride-on car the coolest ride-on car in the neighborhood.